Hello and welcome. It is the newspaper review here on TAF TV for today, the 12th day of October 2022. My name is Cyril Aloysius, and of course, I must say a big thank you to you for joining me. Looking at the papers with me is Jennifer Wamwo. Jennifer, you're welcome.
Thank you.
How do you feel today?
I am great.
You look good.
Thank you very much.
All right, so first we'll be starting with the Vanguard newspaper. Headlines in the Vanguard here says businesses crash as diesel price shoots skyward. Businesses crash as diesel price shoots skyward. Okay, that one is on page 5 of the Vanguard, and on page 9 of the Vanguard we have national honors. Buhari vows to hand over peaceful, secure Nigeria. National honors. Buhari vows to hand over peaceful, secure Nigeria. That's on page 9. And on page 10, we have Sanwo-Olu receives approval for Lekki Airport. Sanwo-Olu receives approval for Lekki Airport. Okay, that's on page 10 of the Vanguard. On page 46 of the Vanguard, we have Asuu holds NEC meeting tomorrow to call off strike Friday. Asuu holds NEC meeting tomorrow to call off strike Friday. Okay, get all the details of that headline on page 46. And on page 7, we have terrorist leader proposed marriage, but I declined. Terrorist leader proposed marriage, but I declined. That's according to freed train victim Azofa. That's on page 7 of the Vanguard. And on page 8, according to IMF, this one says Nigeria's economic growth will slow to 3% in 2023. That's IMF saying on page 8 of the Vanguard. I go again. Nigeria's economic growth will slow to 3% in 2023. Okay. Get all the details of that headline on page 8. And lastly, on the Vanguard for today, we have kidnapping in Oyo, Asuu. Others. It's time to arm state security outfits. That's according to Afenifere on page 10. Kidnapping in Oyo, Asuu. Others. It's time to arm state security outfits. That's Afenifere saying on page 10. Okay, that's the much you can take in the Vanguard. You want more details on this headline that you just heard? Get a copy of the Vanguard for yourself. Jennifer.
All right.
So which of the headlines in the Vanguard would you really want to talk about? Would you like to react to?
Wow, so many of the headlines seem very interesting
Okay,
this morning.
businesses crash as diesel price shoots skyward.
Yeah, the diesel crash. I would love to
Do you
talk
want to
about
react to that? Okay.
Sure, yeah. The case of diesel. Please go on it again.
Okay, so businesses crash as diesel price shoots skyward.
Yes, I can remember that as far back 10 years ago, or let me say in the year 2010-11,
Yeah.
diesel was still like 120. Later, we had 200, 400, but right now I think diesel is between 750 to 800 naira.
And that's really much for some businesses
really
to cope with right now.
Sure, and if we take note of the businesses that make good use of this diesel, we'll check hoteliers, we'll also check transporters. So many of the hotels, they run diesel, and I don't think they're meeting up. They actually are not meeting up. Even some other small-scale businesses, some transporters, so many of these vehicles, they run diesel. So how do they meet up? If you can buy a diesel of 15,000 naira in a day, and you come up with 20,000 or 25,000, like one of the transporter, he pointed out that he makes 10,000 naira when diesel was 400. But right now, he makes 5,000. And before he finish buying tickets and all that, he will not go home with anything.
Okay.
He will end up going home with nothing. So I don't know what the federal government is doing about this. Just like the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, he mentioned it. He said before the emergence of President Muhammad Buhari as the president, that there was a deregulation about the diesel. But I don't understand, because he also went ahead to say that this could be as a result of the Russian-Ukrainian
conflict
war. So this diesel right now in this in Nigeria is not just in Nigeria, it's all over. It's all over the world. It's also happening in Delhi, Sri Lanka, and to mention.
But it's almost like we are the ones feeling it more over here.
Yes, over here is because I can say, this breaking of pipelines, the breaking of pipelines, oil theft, and more.
Okay.
So these are the causes of this rise.
I think recently in the news they discovered some hidden pipes that they used to steal this oil.
Very well. So with this, I don't think the price, in Nigeria, once the price goes up, we wish that
it's very difficult.
Somehow it comes down. But here, when it goes up,
the normal thing, it remains there.
Keeps going up.
Okay, so I don't know. Do you have any should I say solution in mind, given the situation of diesel right now in the country? Do you have any suggestions, probably solutions that you could say, okay, if the government should take these necessary steps, maybe things will get better?
Yeah, very sure. Especially in the Niger Delta region about this theft, the oil theft. If the federal government can come out and say, this is a way that this is something we can do to curb this particular menace that is happening in the oil regions, if they can come out and say, okay, this way we can do it. Let the army do this, let these people do it. It will be nice. But I don't understand what is happening. You will still, at the end of the day, you will still notice that the bunkering keeps increasing. So let the federal government come out and try to reduce the rate of bunkering in our country.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much for your thoughts on that particular headline in the Vanguard. But we'll move straight now to Daily Sun, where we have some other interesting headlines. On page 6 of the Daily Sun, we have this one says, campaign flag off. Amid mammoth crowd, Atiku outlines rescue plan. Okay, that's on page 6. Campaign flag off. Amid mammoth crowd, Atiku outlines rescue plan. All right. And on page 34 of Daily Sun, we have true federalism, pillar for prosperous nation. That's Akeredolu saying on page 34. Says true federalism, pillar for prosperous nation. That's on page 34 by Akeredolu. On page 4, we have tension in Enugu, Nasarawa as gunmen kill 4 soldiers and 10 others. Tension in Enugu, Nasarawa as gunmen kill 4 soldiers and 10 others. Okay. Set Ebonyi Council headquarters on fire. Okay, that's a sad one there on page 4 of the Daily Sun. And on page 34 again, we have flood. Flood sacks 33 communities in Imo. Traders send SOS to Soludo in Anambra. Flood sacks 33 communities in Imo. Traders send SOS to Soludo in Anambra. That's on page 34. On page 6 of Daily Sun, we have Nnamani defends Tinubu. Insists APC presidential candidate hail hearty. Nnamani defends Tinubu insists APC presidential candidate hail and hearty. Okay, that's on page 6 of the Daily Sun. On page 33, Wike bags federal government FG's award on infrastructure delivery. Wike bags FG's award on infrastructure delivery. That's on page 3. On page 4 and 35, we have Obajana. Kogi, Dangote trade tackles over fire incident at State Assembly. Okay, Obajana, Kogi, Dangote trade tackles over fire incident at State Assembly. All right. On page 6 and 33, we have Dogara, APC Northern Christian leaders imposters, says Tinubu. Dogara, APC Northern Christian leaders imposters, says Tinubu, calls PDP party of looters. No alternative to our victory. That's according to Buhari there. And another interesting headline here says, on the last one here on Daily Sun says, Asuu to call off strike in days. That's according to Gbajabiamila and Falana. Asuu to call off strike in days. That's according to Gbajabiamila and Falana on page 34 of the Daily Sun. Okay, that's the much we can take in the Daily Sun. Don't forget, you can also be a part of this discussion. You have some suggestions or questions to make, drop them in the comment section of this video. So Jennifer, which of these headlines would you want to react to?
All right. It's been Asuu for some months now.
Yes.
In fact, by October 14th, we'll be recording 8 months, and very soon it will come to be a birthday. But we don't pray for that. We don't pray for that. Let's say it's almost 8 months, and we are still counting 7 months plus, and Asuu is still going on with the federal government. Even I can recall as at last week that the new bodies were registered as the CONOA and the other body by Ngige. So yesterday.
Do you think it's the intention of Asuu to call off this strike?
Whatever the federal government is playing, I think they've not met the demand of Asuu yet.
Okay.
So it's almost 8 months.
Okay.
If the rumor, let me say it's a rumor, because yesterday the president, Emmanuel, he came out to say, please don't feel so happy, because I don't know where it is coming from that Asuu has called off the strike. He said, don't be so happy about that. Rather, the meetings are still ongoing, because the minister, the speaker, House of Reps, Femi Gbajabiamila, he said that the meeting is going on. So they're planning that before the week comes
to have a neck meeting tomorrow.
Neck meeting they'll have tomorrow. Before the week comes to an end, that something positive
might just happen. Okay.
So we pray that happens. But if it still happens, in my own opinion, I will say that Asuu at the end of 8 months should come out and tell Nigerians that this is our achievement. This is what we've gained. Not just looking at what the federal government wants from them. So at the end of 8 months, what does Asuu want to tell Nigerians? That is their gain.
Okay.
I want to. That's my own point. Asuu should come out and say, this is our achievement so far. Yeah.
Well, them going back to the classrooms now, it's to an extent. I personally feel like it's not from their hearts. I felt like, since the court has ordered them to go back to classrooms, and ordered them again and all that. So I feel like all this, activities or from them, wanting to go back to classrooms, I feel like it's not really from their hearts. So do you see the students suffering as a result of this, should I say, strike being called off as soon as possible? Do you see the students suffering?
Very well.
Because when you are being told to do something that you don't want to do, because personally I know that Asuu personally would not want to call off this strike because they haven't gotten what they want from the government yet. But they're going back to the classrooms now. It means that the government, somehow, some way must have found a way around it to still make them go back to classrooms even without meeting their needs. Yes. And as a result of this, the lecturers would want to, react to this. So do you see the students suffering?
Yes, I would love to come in there, because if the lecturers at the end of the day goes back to classroom to teach, let me say to teach the students.
Okay.
Very well, the students are in a haste to go back to academics. But, when a request that you made for has not been granted, I don't think you'll be happy dishing out whatsoever you have to dish out.
Okay.
If I'm in the shoes of the lecturers, I won't be happy. But this is academics, for Christ's sake. You cannot bring personal grudges to the students.
But do you really see it as personal grudges? Because what Asuu is really fighting for is not something really personal per se, because it's also going to benefit the association and the students. So it's not 100% personal. They are fighting for a just cause. Don't you think so?
Okay, in as much as the strike has elapsed for about 8 months, I wouldn't say Asuu should continue lingering. I wouldn't also say the federal government shouldn't come in. But what I have to say here is that, okay, sorry, I want to talk about a tweet that I saw.
Okay.
One of the students was like, oh my God, is Asuu actually doing this because the federal government has asked them to do? That means that when some of their lecturers come, that they mentioned some tips or something that it will increase. If it was 20,000 naira before, right now it might just be 50,000 naira, or the lecturers are not even going to teach them.
Definitely.
They'll just give them exams without teaching. So to some length, the these lecturers are just expected to do what they wish to do.
Okay.
It's not in my shoes to.
Okay. All right. We'll go to our next paper now, but before we do that, we'll go on a short break. And when we return, more headlines coming your way. Please stay tuned.
Now that you have registered for your PVC, it doesn't stop there. Ensure you pick up your PVC. Be alert. Join many Nigerians to vote credible leaders that will change the tide of this nation. Do not sell your vote. Remember, this is our future. Your vote is your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media Limited.
Welcome back from that short break. Okay, we're going straight now to our last paper for the day, which is the Nation newspaper. Headline to the Nation here says, "I will leave a secured country, Buhari assures Nigerians." I will leave a secured country, Buhari assures Nigerians. President confers national honors on 443 Nigerians, 7 foreigners. Okay.
Wow.
Another interesting headline here says, IMF cuts Nigeria's economic growth to 3.2%. IMF cuts Nigeria's economic growth to 3.2%. Okay. And next on page 4, we have Lagos monarch disowns wife over deputy governorship ticket. Okay, that's on page 4. Lagos monarch disowns wife over deputy governorship ticket. All right, and another interesting headline here reads on page 3. This one says, court fixes November 8th for suit against PRP's Kola Abiola. That's on page 3. And on page 4, we have I killed Super TV CEO. That's on page 4. Get all the details on that headline on page 4. I killed Super TV CEO. That's on page 4. And on page 5, we have Lagos gets approval for Lekki Airport. Lagos gets approval for Lekki Airport. That's according to Sanwo-Olu Loud federal government on page 5. On the Nation there. This one says on page 4 again, we have Oyo Assembly kicks over EFCC's invitation to members. Oyo Assembly kicks over EFCC's invitations to members. That's on page 4. And on page 3, we have Why I Am Yet to Release Manifesto by Obi. Why I Am Yet to Release Manifesto by Obi. That's on page 3. Lastly, on page 5, we have Dangote. Obajana Cement properly acquired. Dangote Obajana Cement properly acquired. That's on page 5. Okay, that's the much we can take in the Nation today. Jennifer, which of these headlines interests you?
Wow, yesterday, though I wasn't there, but it was trending at the ICC Center in Abuja, Buhari, about
Living a secured Nigeria?
Yes, living a secured Nigeria. But I wouldn't want to stress myself about that. That's a very interesting story there. I killed the
Super TV CEO.
Super
Okay.
TV CEO. This is actually funny.
That particular story has lingered for a while, yes.
It's lingered for a while. That's the story of Chidima, the Unilag student.
Yes.
And this happened, I think, June 2021.
Yes.
June 2021. It's quite unfortunate. It is a very sad one, because this pretty girl, this pretty lady, must have had a very cool future. She must have envisaged for something better for herself, but she coming out now after the whole accusation. Let me say, it has been an accusation all this while, but right now she's owned up to say, yes, I killed him. I killed him. This has erupted as a result of relationship. Okay. Relationship.
So what do you think? What do you think would have led to this act? What do you think would have led to it?
Sometimes I don't want to bring in juvenile delinquencies. I don't also want to bring in peer pressure. But I would say, I can recall that the man is a married man.
Yes.
So the kind of relationship Chidima had with this man was a sort of a type that she gains more from the man.
Okay.
So let me say, could it be greed? Because when it happened, when the incident from the witness, because I had to go through it, I read about it. The witness said when she killed him, she made away with his MacBook and forged his signature, so that he can make a withdrawal of some certain amount of money from his account. So this case is a very sad one, because at the end of the day, Chidinma said there was drug was involved.
Okay.
Had it been there wasn't drug, this whole thing wouldn't have happened. I think what's the name of this graphenol was found in their drink, and the story was told the
Retinol. Okay.
The man kept asking for more, but as at that time, Chidinma was already, she was already satisfied. She didn't want more, but she actually went further to say that the man's weight was more than her, so she couldn't take it, and she was expecting that the man was going to fight her. She didn't want to die. So at the end of the day, she turned to be the killer.
Okay, so it's almost like she did it in self-defense. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not the court.
Okay, because
I'm not the court,
because right now, since the man is not there to defend himself, it's almost like anything she says is the truth.
Sure, if she would say it was a self-defense, it's right.
And of course, self-defense is obviously not a crime, is it?
It's obviously not a crime. So she might not really go in for it. But it was funny along when it was happening. I knew that this lady said, I didn't do it. At the initial time, she said she does not know anyone by that name, attacker.
Okay.
She denied the man. She actually, before the CCTV footages came up, even when they went to the extent of she contesting for Miss Prison or what, it was actually funny, you know. But right now, whatever Chidinma is going through, I might not know. She has been tagged a murderer, and she is a murderer. Okay. Whether by self-defense or whatever.
So what do you think this particular story teaches married couples out there? Married couples still, having some extramarital affairs out there.
All right.
Do you think this should actually serve as a stern warning to them to, be faithful to your partner instead of trying to do something outside of marriage?
Yes, very well. No one can predict tomorrow.
Because there's this popular saying, why do you have to cheat on someone you don't want to lose with someone you don't want to keep? So based on that particular saying, what would be your advice to married people out there? Married couples out there?
My advice to married couple is that whatever you have, keep to it. That thing you have in your house, what you want it to look like, just with that money, because this man was actually rich. He had the wherewithal. He had everything that he needs to use and take care of his wife, or let me say his partner. So to the married ones there, if he's on the woman's side, if he's on the man's side, please, I beg you, please, I'm begging, before it comes to, because he wouldn't be there.
Okay.
Right now, Ataga is not there to defend himself.
Yes.
So try to keep to whatever vows you've made in your marriage. Keep to the vows. Use that money. Maintain your wife. Use that time. Give it to your husband, please. And to the young ones out there. Because in this Chidinma story, greed at some point came in. Okay. Please, when they send you to school, try to be in school. Okay. Try to be in school and be content with whatever you have.
Okay. Jennifer, thank you so much. I almost called you Chidinma there because we've been talking about Chidinma for a while now.
No, that name is actually a nice one.
It's a nice name,
because Chidinma.
Yes. But right now, she has actually, taken away the glory from that name a bit, right?
Really?
Yes, I feel so.
Anyway.
Oh, Jennifer, thank you so much for your time with me today. I really do appreciate. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and to my faithful viewers who have been faithful to their screen, I'm saying thank you too, because without you, we would not be here. But as you know, everything that has a beginning has an end, and this is where we have to draw the curtain on the newspaper review for today. My name is Cyril Aloysius. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms and subscribe to this channel if you haven't. And after subscribing, do well to click on the bell icon there, so you'll be able to get notified whenever we come online and whenever we drop our new videos. Okay, on social media, on YouTube, we are TAF TV, on Instagram, We are TAFTV_NG. On Facebook, we are TAFTV, and on Twitter, we are TAFTV. Thank you so much once again. Until we come your way again next time, do enjoy the rest of your days. Bye for now.